Bloody heck. You see, I told that doctor that I cannot take the folic acid she wanted me to take because it has yellow dye on the little pills, and I am extremely allergic to yellow dye. I had to find this out the hard way. You know, there's a link between yellow dyes and carpal tunnel syndrome, but I'm extremely allergic. A lot of pills have yellow dye on the coatings, and a lot of foods have yellow coloring in them. I'm not being fussy or picky. I mean, the allergic reaction is pronounced. Difficulty breathing, skin eruptions, edemas, you know, my feet blow up so that my shoes don't fit, itching all over. It's dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. The carpal tunnel syndrome gets worse. Headaches, sometimes migraines. You know, you tell this to them in French, and it goes in one brain cell and out the other. So I just said to the pharmacist, you know, let French Social Security save some money, take that folic acid back. It's pretty impossible to completely avoid anything that you know doesn't agree with you, but you can make an effort. And, you know, you should tell healthcare professionals to put it in your record. I'm sure she didn't. I asked her to. Arg. Well, she got an earful from me. I said, you know, I'm sorry, but I do not trust doctors anymore, nor this one who you're filling in for today. You know, when I get home, I sit at the computer and I look on the internet in French and in English, and I usually find out that you have prescribed something to me, or another doctor has, which is not indicated. And pharmacies don't take back the medicines anymore. You used to be able to give them back and they would donate them to charity, but there was a scandal with that. Some unscrupulous pharmacists were reselling them, or if they were something cool, you know, reselling them on the black market to drug addicts and stuff. And now they don't want to take them back anymore because they might be tampered with. So it's just a waste of public money. So I try to look at what they're giving me, and if I really don't need it or want it, or if I have a pretty big quantity of it at home, and I think it's going to expire, really expire, I try not to take it. I try not to accept it. Arg. There was a lot more waste when I first came here to France, as far as medical things go. You know, they would just prescribe enormous quantities of this or that, and you know, people would stock them at home and they would expire, and then they would just throw them out, which was not good because the packaging may not have been recyclable. The medicines could have fallen into wrong hands. They go into landfill, they pollute the ground and the water. The groundwater is really polluted in France from all the psychotropic drugs that people are on and all the antibiotics that they take. It's forbidden to eat any fish from the Rhone River in France anymore. That's been the case for quite a few years. It's really sad. They're not allowed to give fish to school children anymore in France. And for retired citizens, many of them qualify to have a hot lunch delivered to them daily. And they don't give them fish anymore either. It's just far too toxic. They're allowed to give fish cakes like maybe once a month because that's largely filler. It's just too toxic. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but you know, there was an Eat Fish for Health campaign here years ago, as there was in the States, of course, and most of the world. And I read an article here in France about a woman who wanted to keep her figure, and she was eating fish pretty much every day, all sorts of different fish, and frequently giving fish to her young son. And she ended up, and he ended up with mercury poisoning and a lot of other toxic issues. And she was really alarmed and felt very guilty that she had done that to her child. The more aggressive and carnivorous the fish is also, the more likely it is to be toxic. I think tuna, swordfish, sardines, anchovies, mackerel. I don't remember the others. And you guys, I hope you know about Nile perch. Boy, if you want to see some scary stuff, just type Nile perch into your search engines. There's a really shocking documentary about that. They don't know how these fish got into this lake in Africa, but it's absolutely ruined the lives of the people around there who work in the Nile perch industry. We had a visitor here in France a few years ago who went to the market in Saint-Denis and attempted a nice gesture. She bought us some fish for lunch, and it was Nile perch. Oh! And we said thank you, but we didn't eat it. And you know, we explained to her, thank you very much, that was nice of you to do that, but you know, you're causing, it's unhealthy, and it's an environmental disaster and a humanitarian disaster, what happened with the Nile perch in Africa. There's a tremendous demand for shrimp and prawns in England and Europe. They really like it, and they really like salmon too. But we don't buy it anymore. So this is your self-righteous channeler, slow-mo motion, cute cat face, fetching and fussing and but really, if what I've told you causes you any concern or interests you, you know, you can look it up and you be the judge, you know. YouTube isn't letting me share videos anymore. My 2 dinky channels and my looking at the videos I do may have been a problem for them. I've heard about this happening to other people, and now it's happened to me. It's really a pain. I must say, I like YouTube for news. I get breaking stories much more quickly than I would from mainstream media. I don't have a TV, but I still, you know, look around and listen to some mainstream media here. And it's just that on the YouTube stuff that I look at, I question it and do my own research. But it's a heads up. And frequently the points of view are much more interesting to me than mainstream media, because I feel it's more directly an opinion of an ordinary person who generally has little or no vested interest in saying what they do, except that it's their opinion. Although I understand that a good many Americans and Canadians do receive AdSense money. That doesn't seem to work for us out of North America. But I like it. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.